What if I told you that some of the most dramatic shifts in human history are not brought about by powerful rulers or by devastating wars, but by objects that have long since disappeared? Imagine artifacts so revolutionary that they changed the destiny of civilizations and reshaped the way humans thought about the world, only to vanish into history, leaving us with mysteries and unanswered questions. Today we will explore 6 of these hidden treasures, artifacts that once changed everything but are now lost to time. Before we dive into these extraordinary stories, make sure you like this video, share it with others who love history, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss our journey into the secrets of our past. Let us begin with one of the most fascinating discoveries ever recovered from the ancient world, the Antikythera Mechanism. In 1901, divers searching a shipwreck off the Greek island of Antikythera brought out bronze fragments covered with gears and inscriptions. For years it puzzled scientists, until it was eventually revealed to be a complex mechanical calculator. Built around the 2nd century BC, this device could predict eclipses, track the positions of the sun and moon, and follow the cycles of the planets. Its gears were cut with such precision that it was not until over 1,000 years later that technology of similar complexity reappeared in Europe. The Antikythera Mechanism forces us to rethink the technological sophistication of the ancient Greeks. It shows that they had both the knowledge of astronomy and the mechanical skill to embody, in a compact, portable device. The very existence of this artifact challenges the idea of linear progress in science. It suggests that whole branches of knowledge may have been lost when societies fell and only rediscovered centuries later. When we look at it today, sitting in the National Archaeological Museum in Athens, we are reminded of how fragile human knowledge can be when not preserved and passed forward. Now consider an artifact that may never have been real in the material sense, but which profoundly shaped the intellectual and scientific trajectory of Europe. The Philosopher's Stone. For centuries, alchemists across the Middle East and later across medieval Europe pursued the dream of this fabled object. It was said to have the power to transmute base metals into gold and even grant eternal life. Although no philosopher's stone was ever found, the pursuit of it drove generations of scholars to experiment with chemical substances, to refine distillation, to study metallurgy, and to classify minerals and acids. Their work, although wrapped in mysticism, slowly laid the foundations of modern chemistry. Even figures like Isaac Newton studied alchemy, searching in part for this elusive stone. The Philosopher's Stone may have been a myth, but the energy inspired shaped a scientific revolution. It shows us how powerful a concept alone can be in altering the course of human inquiry. Next, we encounter one of the strangest and most enduring puzzles in the history of writing, the Voynich manuscript. Discovered in the early 20th century and now housed at Yale University, this manuscript dates back to the early 1400s. It is filled with pages of strange symbols written in an unknown script, accompanied by detailed illustrations of plants that do not match any known species, astronomical diagrams, and human figures engaged in mysterious rituals. Despite decades of effort, some of it by the world's best cryptographers, including those at the U.S. National Security Agency, no one has successfully decoded its language. Was it a code, an invented language, or perhaps a hoax? The Voynich manuscript continues to defy explanation. Radiocarbon dating proves it is genuine to the medieval period. So whatever its purpose, it was crafted with care and consistency. The mystery of the manuscript demonstrates how fragile our ability to understand the past can be when communication is locked behind unknown systems. It reminds us that entire cultures may have left messages we will never read. Moving from the mysterious to the sacred, we turn to the Ark of the Covenant, one of the most significant objects described in ancient religious texts. According to the Hebrew Bible, the Ark held the tablets of the 10 Commandments and served as a physical representation of God's presence with the Israelites. The Ark was said to lead armies into battle, to bring victory, and at times to unleash devastating power. It was placed in the first temple of Jerusalem, but after the Babylonian conquest in the 6th century BC it disappeared from history. To this day, its fate is unknown. Some traditions claim it was hidden before the destruction of the temple, others suggest it was taken and lost. While historians debate its historical existence, the idea of the Ark itself has had a profound impact. It shaped Israelite religion, influenced the development of Judaism, and by extension Christianity and Islam. The Ark is a powerful example of how belief in a sacred object can influence laws, society, and identity across millennia even when the physical artifact is gone. The next treasure is less a single object and more a record that once existed, the catalogue of the Library of Alexandria. The Library of Alexandria, founded in the 3rd century BCE in Egypt, was said to have contained hundreds of thousands of scrolls from across the ancient world. Its destruction remains one of the great tragedies of history, but what is sometimes overlooked is the loss of the master catalogue. Ancient libraries often maintained catalogues, organized lists of the works they held. In Alexandria, such a catalogue would have recorded the contents of the greatest library of antiquity. Without it, not only are the scrolls lost but even our knowledge of what was lost is gone. Imagine a list that included treatises on medicine, astronomy, mathematics, or history that we no longer know even existed. The absence of the catalogue leaves us blind to the true extent of the knowledge destroyed. It is a stark reminder that sometimes the key to understanding is not the knowledge itself, but the roadmap that allows us to access it. As we reflect on these artifacts, we see a pattern. The Antikythera Mechanism reveals forgotten technology. The Philosopher's Stone shows the power of an idea. The Voyage manuscript embodies the mystery of lost communication. The Ark of the Covenant illustrates the impact of belief. And the Catalogue of Alexandria demonstrates the fragility of knowledge itself. Each of these shaped human history not simply by existing but by the ripple effects they caused in thought, culture, and discovery. They remind us that history is not just about kings, battles, and empires, but about the objects, real or conceptual, that influence human imagination and drive progress or reshape societies. When we consider what else might be lost, we are left with profound questions. How many ancient technologies, like the Antikythera Mechanism, have sunk beneath the seas or crumbled into dust? What ideas as transformative as the Philosopher's Stone may have motivated human endeavor only to be forgotten? What texts like the Voyage manuscript remain indecipherable, carrying secrets we may never unlock? And what other sacred objects like the Ark may have shaped civilizations by the very power of belief? Finally, how many catalogs, maps, or records of knowledge have vanished, leaving us not just without information, but without awareness of what we no longer know? This is why history continues to fascinate us. It is not complete. It is a puzzle with missing pieces, and every discovery or rediscovery brings us closer to understanding the story of humanity. These 6 hidden artifacts that once changed everything remind us of the fragility of knowledge, the resilience of human curiosity, and the enduring mystery of our shared past. So as we close this journey through forgotten treasures, take a moment to reflect on how much of our history is shaped not just by what survives, but by what is lost. If you found this exploration as captivating as I did, remember to like this video, share it with friends who love history, and subscribe to the channel for more stories that uncover the hidden layers of our past. By doing so, you help keep these stories alive and ensure that the search for knowledge continues.